I've been commissioned to build a center console speaker setup for an 80 or 76, I think, Humvee. Looks like he's got some wheels and tires on it. It's bed lined, the whole thing. Pretty nice for Humvee. I mean, it's not really my style, but so Humvees are 24 volt. So we put in a 12 volt battery to run the amp. Still gets charged off the alternator and everything, but he didn't want to run an amp that is 24 volt compatible, and I don't know if there is one, to be honest. But this is the bottom board so far, the base, I guess you can call it. It's cut out around the shifter. Had to leave a gap right there because that's the doghouse that has to come out for maintenance. And I'm going to be putting cup holders, cubbies, speakers all in this. No subs, just components. 4-channel amp, 4 component speakers. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. I have 4 of these. They're rather big, actually. It's an 8. It looks like with a tweeter in the middle. Self-contained magnet and surround, plastic surround. Pretty much standard marine grade speaker. They cover all that up. You know, the screen or the face is built into it. This is not removable. I really would kind of like to match behind the seat here, this angle, but not gonna have enough room because I can't build any further past this back wall. So I think I'm just gonna move it all forward because this is all kind of dead space anyway. Angle them slightly up, so something like this to back here, and then do the same up here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. It'll give everybody sound. These things are really loud inside. You get a lot of road noise. Engines are loud. They weren't really made for comfort. They're military vehicles, so the speakers kind of have to be close so you can hear them clearly. So kind of thinking like this was that side of the box. It's going to come over, kind of match the angle of that seat, an angle, come down. This is going to be probably, if I had to guess, 4 inches on the side, and then come back over, up, down at another angle down that follows that seat, and then flatten out. I might even shift these back a little bit to give room for the driver's arm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shift that back to give room for the driver's arm, the shifter, and all that stuff. And we don't really need to be right up against the driver there. So yeah, I'll probably move those back, probably in line with the support bar here. So probably in line with that. That'll be the front of them. Dip down, so they'll have cup holder, and then probably the cup holders up here will probably be around that doghouse right there. And then there'll be a cubby. The cubby is fairly big, so I guess I need to kind of get that laid out as well. Yep, it's a bigger cubby than I kind of thought it was. Maybe I go this way and put a cup holder on each side of it. I mean, the seats are, and it's almost like you're gonna have to reach back because you can kind of see where the seat is in reference to it, but you really can't put much forward on it. Yeah, I don't know yet. I guess move it as far over that way as I can. Put a cup holder here, and then a cup holder right there. It won't be a mirrored image like I like, but maybe that's not going to be a possibility anyway. So that's about how deep it's going to be. I mean, unfortunate with the style with the Humvee the way it is, the only way you can build to do this is up. I've seen them as crazy as, you know, a 12-inch wall here, and I think that's ridiculous. It doesn't. I'm trying to build this as seamless as possible, and it's not going to be seamless. But if I can get it to look close, or at least seem like it fits in here that'll be a plus. So I guess I'm gonna have some layouts to do, and then I'll get back with you guys. Okay, progressed a little ahead, but it's nighttime now, and just had a lot of thinking to do. Did a lot of research on what other people build for a Hummer or a Humvee, whatever. They build them up really tall in the cab, almost up to that dash bar. I thought that looked dumb. Didn't like it. I like a lower profile one. So this is kind of what I've came up with so far. So 4 inches from the bottom to the top. It's hollow in the middle. In the middle, inside of this box, is going to house that amp. These are skar audio. I don't remember the part number. Let's see. SK8MB 4 ohm. Full range Marina speakers. So they're really deep. I mean, pretty big speaker for the package. So in order to keep them as low as possible, I made a clearance hole, which this inside will all be a box anyway. Like across here will be a brace, so those two will be like in a box. Try to get as much bass out of these component speakers as I can. So that's how that one's going to look. That centerpiece right there, that's going to be like a tray. Then the 2 cup holders. There will be 2 cup holders back here for the back seats. This is where the rear box is going to be for 2 more of these. They're going to kind of sit up a little higher than those. Back here, not like, they'll probably be like a 45-degree-ish angle up here a little bit. There's going to be a cup holder here on each side. I'm kind of thinking about cutting that X out right there, putting plexi in it, LED, and it'll light up where it says skar on the amp, and it'll light up all inside there, the white amp. It'll kind of break it up. Otherwise, this is just going to be a big open piece with 2 cup holders, and I don't really like that idea. Don't know if I'm going to do that yet. It's kind of up to me. The customer doesn't really care, but I just don't like that there's nothing right here. It's just a big open area. Of course, all this will get rounded off, sanded, routered, trimmed up, nice and clean looking. It'll kind of, hopefully it'll look like it'll flow together. That's the point. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Doesn't look like I got a whole lot done, but there's a lot of thinking involved, trying to make this as low profile in the cabin and functional as possible. Really just me being picky. That's really about it. Like I can see my shadow, little pinky. Wonder how long my pinky's been up. But yeah, so far that's what we're looking at. Okay, this is kind of what the inside looks like. All wired up. Those are going there. Got 1 speaker wire, 2 speaker wire. The amp ran off of a DS18 Bluetooth module, I guess you can call it. It's a 4-channel amp, so it's got a splitter of 4 to 2. Other speaker, and then those wires that go up there go to a power switch and a USB charging port / volt reader. And the power and ground come out the side of the box because the battery sits underneath the rear passenger seat. Let me put the top on it and I'll show you what that looks like. So that's what it looks like with the top on. You got a cubby right here with the 2 ports in it. They are right there. That's where they're gonna go. This is the voltmeter / dual USB port, and then this is a main power switch. This will be your on-off switch for the system. Then 2 cup holders, an armrest area for the driver and the passenger, 2 speakers there, 2 speakers there, and then rear cup holders for the rear passengers, that was going to be a cutout with a plexiglass piece because the amp's right there. But I didn't have a piece of plexi like I thought I did. The piece I have is scratched up and I don't feel like buffing it. I can't get any, so it's just going to be without. It was just an extra piece anyway. It wasn't required or asked for by the owner. Still have to cleanish, finish, sand everything, make it look all pretty. And then I have to, this is going to get screwed down from the top. It's going to look ugly. Nothing I can do about it because you have to be able to access that amp in case something goes wrong, a fuse blows, something like that. So I'm just going to evenly space them out all the way down, across, in the back. Even make them even spaced all the way down, and maybe it won't look that bad. It's going in a Humvee anyway, which is kind of a rustic vehicle, so it might fit in. And for the box area, I'm going to use an L bracket because I won't be able to put screws right here and access them. So I'm going to put L brackets underneath the top, that L bracket to the side, so you'll just have to like go into it. It's going to be kind of a pain for whoever has to take it apart, but it's going to be a pain for me to put it together, so it is what it is. But yep, that's it to this point. Next will be finish sanding, flush trim any of the edges that I have little overlaps on, and then tomorrow will be spray bed lining it black. So the cup holders will come out, the cubbies will come out. I'll probably kind of just set it like that, tape off underneath the cup holders and the cubby so nothing gets in there behind the amp or onto the amp, and spray bed line it. I could take it all out. I might just, I'll probably just take everything out. It'll be safer that way. Don't want to get that amp covered in stuff. But that's where I'm at right now. So the next video you'll see, it will be sprayed and then probably going through the install. All right, there it is, all done. Speakers in, amps wired up. Right now it's running off of an inverter, so I could test and tune it. It's all tuned up, ready to go. Sounds pretty good. You're not going to get a whole bunch of bass, but for the type of speakers they are, component style, it gets pretty good bass. Pretty loud, pretty bassy. The cup holders are just chilling right now because underneath of them, that's where a mount will go. It'll be drilled through the box into the floor of the Humvee, and then there'll be a nut cert in the Humvee, and it'll be bolted down in 4 spots everywhere there's a cup holder. So there, and 2 right there. That's the main power switch right here. So flip that up, everything turns off, and then flip this on. This little thing flips up. It's got 2 USBs powered on there. It reads your voltage. Just pretty simple, pretty clean. I don't know if I'll get a video of it in the Humvee. I'm hoping I at least get a couple pictures. If I do, I'll post them at the end of the video. But the owner's coming to help me load it because this thing weighs quite a bit. 4 speakers, 1 amp, wiring, a whole lot of MDF, 2 sheets almost. I think that piece right there and that little square over there is about all I got left of 2 sheets. So a lot of wood. I don't know what it weighs, but it's a good chunk. But I'm going to, like I said, the rest of the video will probably just be some pictures of it in there, unless I can get a sound clip with it installed. But if this is the end, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and until the next build.